Hey, what's up? So I wanted to talk about Final Fantasy XVI, why I've stopped playing it, and my thoughts, my notes that I've written down so far. And I will say this, it's possible that I may go back to the game. I mean, I still plan to go back and play through it at some point. I don't know when. It could be a year from now, it could be 5 years from now, it could be 10 years from now. And it's possible when I do return to it, I may enjoy it, but right now, not at all. Actually forget. Like, let me check real quick. I forgot to look before I started this, but I wanted to see how many hours I played on it before I stopped. 16.7 hours on Steam, um, and I found it to be mindless garbage. I would expect this from a mobile game, but not a AAA or Final Fantasy title. This is just stupid. Um, yeah, it's very, very sad. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, part of it is just the fact that you can enable like a simple mode, and even Devil May Cry, the newest Devil May Cry, was it 5? I think it was 5, where I had an option basically to turn a game option on to make everything face roll easy. So still entertaining game. I think I would rather play Devil May Cry 5 than this though. And I think mostly it might just be because it's a Final Fantasy title that makes it so disappointing. It's weird, man. If you like, I've got this montage of combat playing. It's not even a montage actually, because it's whatever. Anyways, but even the interface is mobile. Like it to me, I look at this and I just see mobile. I'm just like, this. What the hell is wrong with these people? Like, this is a mobile game interface. Like, this is terrible. Although Final Fantasy 13 had a similar interface. Like when it comes to the numbers popping up on the screen, but I don't know, man. I don't like it. It's weird. Anyways, like, let me continue my notes. As with every game, no matter what, this is something I've been trying to think about lately too, and remind myself of it. Uh, for a younger gamer that is playing this for the first time, it's gonna be memorable, right? Same thing with like Space Marine 2 and some other games that I've recently thought. Oh, Avowed. Avowed is a perfect example. I want to talk about Avowed in another video because I like it a lot so far. I really do. But for a first time gamer, someone young playing like this genre for the first time, or this type of game for the first time, they're going to love it. Like Avowed, I remember thinking like, this is going to be the next Skyrim. 10 years, 20 years from now, people are going to be comparing other games to Avowed. Is it as good as Avowed? Whatever. Like, Avowed is good, man. It's a good. I like it. I like it a lot so far. It's I would say pretty much nothing new done, but it's just another really good game. Like, if you, I don't know how you could, if you like Skyrim, I don't know how you could not like Avowed. It's weird to me. Anyways, all right. Final Fantasy 16. The main story is good overall. I liked the general story of it, but there's something called the Dominant, which is the carrier of an icon, which is a human form of a summon, right? So the Dominant in the story is a human being with the like that can turn into a summons like Bahamut and Ifrit and stuff, and that. So that's an interesting story. I don't remember them ever talking about like that before. Maybe they did in older games. I don't know. I don't remember them ever like summons being like people that turned into a summons, right? Like, you used to summon creatures and they'd be these big badass things and stuff, but now they're people that turn into them. So that's kind of neat. I like that. The bearer they can cast magic, but as a slave, and is seen as less than human. This made no sense to me at all. The bearer can cast magic, but they treat them as like garbage, and it's just the strangest thing. So, let's see. The bearer, the human being that's known as a bearer because they can cast magic. They're used instead of the crystals, the Final Fantasy crystals. I forget what they're called, but they're used instead of the crystals as magic. They use these people. They're slaves that are used to cast magic spells instead of using the crystals, because the crystals are more rare than the human beings. It's just so stupid. Now, it's funny to me because I think the story itself to me is so stupid, but I also can believe that's a thing that would happen, right? Like, I don't. It's just so strange. It just makes me laugh because I do think it's a very bad story, but I can believe that is a thing that could happen. And, people being used as slaves instead of like something else that they could use or whatever. It's funny, man. On top of that, on top of that, the introduction of Shiva she's held captive and forced under a threat that they will kill people she cares about or a city or whatever, unless she kills 4 of the people that kidnapped her. So instead of killing her kidnappers and the evil people that are forcing her to do this murder and like whatever, instead of fighting them, she does their killing. She listens to them and kills for them. Instead of killing the bad guy, she kills innocent people because they threaten to kill innocent people if she doesn't kill innocent people for them. Like, it's so stupid. It's just like, are you, no, this is just dumb. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Apparently, the more they use their powers, the quicker they petrify and die. So that's an interesting thing too. That part's interesting. The more these the dominants, the people that turn into summons, use their power, they're quicker to die. Actually, reminds me a little bit of Spawn, the comic book Spawn, because he has these superpowers, and the more he uses them, the quicker he's gonna like go to hell and become a prisoner, slave, army, slave, whatever. Whatever. It's kind of funny. And as usual with most of the RPGs, every RPG just so much boring dialogue. And this reminded me, I was gonna make a video about this, talking about how cinematics in games used to be, they used to show the most key and iconic parts in the story. Now they're just used for boring and pointless dialogue. I think I might have even mentioned this in probably a couple previous videos. I've been meaning to make a video by itself to just get into it, but whatever. But yeah, so that's one thing that this game reminded me of, and every game reminds me of it all the time when I'm sitting here watching 20-minute dialogue. Even Avowed, they don't shut the hell up. And fortunately, I like the story mostly. Most of the story in Avowed is good. I like it. So I'm like, all right, like they don't shut the hell up, but at least they have something to say. Mostly, I would say so far 90% of it, you know. Like, but anyways. Side quest dialogue has partial voice acting, good voice acting too, which makes it kind of stupid. Did they not want to pay these people? That was my note. That's funny. So I like the voice acting for the side quest because it's already good for the the main characters and stuff, but it's also good for the side quest. But it's have like some voice dialogue and then like probably a bunch of text, right? It's an amazing world, magical environments, which I love. I love when there's like living magic out in the world and stuff as you walk through it. The first game that I ever really saw and noticed that in was Kingdoms of Amalur. That just the world to me has always been so impressive. So I love seeing that in other games too, which is, it's not as common because everybody tries realism. Everything's realistic, there's no magic. Like, where's the magic at? Which is why I prefer games like Forspoken. Or even, I've always still been meaning to go back to it, Immortals of Avium. I was not in the mood, and it was really just, it reminded me of like The Order a little bit, where like, not as bad, but the main thing going for it was the graphics, because the gameplay was just the same old, right? So beautiful and cool, and I do want to go back and go actually play more of that. I've been thinking about it lately. I was like, oh yeah, I need to go back. Anyways, so let's see, epic and huge boss fights. Yeah, the boss fights in this game are actually really impressive. I did like them a lot. It's just the gameplay itself is so just not good, unimpressive, not really fun. I found it not fun at all. It's even with all how flashy it is, all the cool stuff going on, it's just boring. It's strange to me, man. It's strange to me. Like, all right, auto loot is cool. Yeah, I guess I don't remember exactly how that works. I think you just run through stuff and you auto loot, I guess. So that's neat. I like stuff like that, whatever. Let's see, takedowns, kicks them a few times while down, stabs them. Oh yeah, pretty cool takedowns, like finisher move. That's pretty neat. Yeah, the enemy's down the ground, he'll kick them and then stab them. That's pretty badass. Not open world, just wider tunnels. I forgot. So this was something. Yeah, this is not an open world game. Actually, you know what? I forgot. I think it's just parts of it, right? Yeah. Now I'd have to play more and get into the bigger game. I forgot. Yeah, it just depends, I guess, on the area that you're in. Although even the open world parts were kind of just big tunnels. Like, if you ever played a game like Sword Art Online or even Persona, you're just running down tunnels. Basically, you're just tunnel, turn left or right, whatever. You find a little corner here, corner there to look for a treasure or whatever. But it's mostly tunnels. So in Final Fantasy XVI, it's just much wider tunnels. So it makes it feel or kind of seem like an open world thing, but it's not at all, because you're gonna always end up in some kind of dead end. You're always gonna be forced this other way. Um, so at least there's a sense of open worldness to it. Like, yeah. So that's good, and I don't have a problem with that. Like, I'd rather have a sense of open world in that than I would in Persona or Sword Art Online, where it's just a tunnel. Here's a tunnel, and even when you look at the map, you can see just the tunnels. Here's the tunnel, tunnel, tunnel. I hate that. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they still do that. Anyways, all right. I have to hold button to open larger doors. Such immersion. Yeah. Put some words. I was mad. Hold the button to open larger doors. Yeah. I don't know, it's just when they force game mechanics that are just there to for no real reason. I'm just like, this is dumb. And again, I guess for a newer gamer, right, newer and younger person playing these for the first time, maybe it is more immersive for them, and maybe they enjoy it, which I could see that. I could, let's see. Stiff camera, force follows pads, disable camera follows to fix. Okay, I guess, man, yeah, turn off camera, follow camera. Do that the first thing. Like, I forgot, because anytime you try to like move the camera left or right with the camera following, it's stiff. Like, it doesn't let you turn it. And I think I realized, I added an extra note. I think I realized after going back into settings and checking the camera settings and disabling that, like, whatever option, camera follow, made it better. Okay, probably what happened. These notes are old. I write these notes long before I ever put everything together to write something out. If I do, I don't always end up doing that, and don't always end up putting out a review, especially for games I don't like. But anyways, let's see. Side quest, giving people food. Have to select item to give to the NPC. It's absolutely pointless. I forgot about this. Okay, so you do these side quests. You go loot an item somewhere. You return to the NPC. The game has you go through this whole like select item from your, but you're not selecting the item from your inventory. The game pops out a little thing. It says, here's the item you need to give to the NPC. You click on it and you click give, and that's it. That's all you do. You don't actually open your inventory at all. You go to the NPC, you click talk, and then the game automatically brings everything up for you. There's no point to it. Why not just go talk to them? Hey, I brought it back for you. Like, why do you have to click on it? It's dumb. It's pointless. It's so pointless. It's really stupid. Also, some of these quests, a lot of these, especially early on in the first 15 hours of the game, a lot of them, the quest is 10 feet away. They're like, yeah, I need this thing, and you walk right across the freaking room, grab the thing, and go right back. That happened a lot. I was like, this is, what the hell, right? It's funny, man, all right? Let's see, 15 hours into the campaign for Clive to realize he killed Joshua, which he knew at the very start of the game. Yeah, so just a lot of really stupid story stuff, very poorly done. And it's sad to me. And I'm only sharing my thoughts just to share why I stopped playing it. I don't want to sit here and hate on the game, but I did not enjoy it, man. I did just like, what the hell, especially as a Final Fantasy game. In the Final Fantasies, I would rather play 13. I was so disappointed and so mad. I actually installed 13 to go back and play it, because I never beat 13. And I remember liking it, though. Everybody hated it. I remember I didn't even... I think I didn't play it for such a long time because I just hadn't played turn-based games in a really long time. I just stopped playing them many years ago. And only recently, in the past few to several-ish years, I've gotten sort of back into them. Anyways, even before that, I had tried Final Fantasy XIII because I thought it looked cool. So I played like around 20 hours of it, and I really liked it. I really liked the story. I really liked the world a lot, like so much. I have my complaints. I prefer the randomized battles. I don't like the on-screen enemies. Because randomized made it easier to grind. You just made it easier to grind. You could just grind enemies and level up in like a section just by running in circles. You can't do that when the enemies are on the screen. It's not possible. So that's the main reason why I prefer randomized combat, is just to grind, man. All right, yeah. So anyways, those were my notes. Yeah, just. I've not. Let me see. When was the last time I tried playing this game? I uninstalled it. I was like, all right, I don't know what I'm coming back to this. January 11th, so not too long ago. I wasn't playing it too long ago. But yeah, I was very disappointed, man. And I look, I wrote a note here at the end to say Forspoken is better than all of these new Final Fantasy games combined because it's an actual game, and it's just strange to me, man. I wrote a review on Forspoken. I'll actually share that in case you're interested. And again, I don't want to hate on this game, man. I didn't like it, and I imagine, yeah, no, I mean, I gave it the best try I could. I almost, what was it? Was 16 hours? Almost 17 hours. I put every minute of that was me trying to not hate it. I love how flashy it is. I love the visuals. There's a lot of cool stuff in the story, even though there's a lot of really stupid, horrible, bad writing, bad story. There is cool stuff. Like there are things I do like about it. I was digging the story, and I do kind of want to go play through it just to see how that you know ends up. But these are the reasons why I haven't played it. Well, not they're not only the reasons why I haven't played it. Some of the stuff I said here was good, not many, right? But some of it was okay, right? Like, yeah, most of these were complaints, but I had a few cool things, whatever. Anyways, I will talk to you later. Bye bye.